how did I get to you? It was backstage?
It was backstage, and actually you casted my son first, which was
Okay.
crazy because I was like, oh, I just mentioned, oh, I'm an actress, you know, just in case you're looking, and I think you had already like been looking or auditioning, and you're like, sure, send whatever, and then you made me watch 3 movies or 2, like you made me watch this movie about like this mother and a child who had like this tumultuous relationship that the child technically is a sociopath in a sense.
Oh, we have to talk about Kevin. We need to talk about Kevin.
We have to talk. We have to talk about that one. I had never seen it before, and I watched it, and I was like, "You're like that's what I want," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" But this kid and the mom don't even like each other, and I adore my son, right? I have this super special bond with him, so I'm like, okay. So you didn't even like. Oh, and then you made me take my makeup off and my lashes, and you're like, no glam. Nada, you know, and I was like, okay. You were just trying to get me to get into that mind space in that like psychological aspect, I guess, of that movie, because that lady was literally so stressed in this life with this child because they're you can tell they're just not connecting, and I was like, okay, so I did it, and after several tries, and you had me send a video crying and like serious and yelling and all these different emotional states. And then I finally get casted after all of that, and not even doing the role, just for auditioning purposes. And I was just like, such an experience. And I was like, I just knew in that moment, he's good. Because I saw myself in those videos, and I was like, wow, he got me to do this in just an audition.
Which videos?
The audition.
Oh, the audition.
Yeah, I still have them. They're on my backstage because I'm like, these are good. You pushed me to just do something that I had never done before. But I guess like just everything bare, the no makeup, the no hair, that just put me in a different state of mind. And I think that was the initial process that I'm like, I love this guy. I just knew I was gonna just love the experience. Then I get casted, and here we are trying to do the scene with my son, my real son, who got casted initially. And there's too much love. There's too much shared. We're just very close, and he could not to save his life, even as an actor, and he's a pretty good actor. You could even you were just looking at us, and you were looking at him, and he was like, you two, even the way he looks at you is, he can't like not look at you with these like little hard eyes. So then, despite my, and I said, you know what, whoever you think, and I even said, you know what, if it's better, I'd back out of the role and have someone else. And you're like, no, it has to be you. And I'm like, oh no. I mean, of course I love that, but I feel bad because Siler was probably going to miss out on this chance, because I just knew it was going to be a good project. So you're like, okay, I'm going to bring this other kid. And I was like, oh, goodness, no. And then, and you're like, I want to see how you two, what happens in the photo
interaction.
Let's see what happens. So brings it this freaking adorable kid, but I did not admit it in that moment, because it wasn't my child. But this such a cute kid comes in, and I did not know what to expect. I smiled at him, and this kid just throws I think it was a car. It was so fast, it hit my head, and I'm like, oh my god, I got mad. I was like,
I know,
little beep. I don't cry. I sometimes curse, but in that moment I was like, I cannot believe this. He made me kind of mad because nobody has ever thrown anything at me, and this kid just, and then he's just like looking at me with these eyes, and I'm just like, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, oh god, he got this role. Like I just knew it, and he's like, yeah, because there was just like this animosity, this like apathy, and no, it just worked because he stayed in character, whatever you told him, and I feel like maybe he didn't say it, but I was so proud of him in that moment, even though later I bonded with him, I got to know him. Very talented young little boy and actor. But the fact that he did not, for that moment, it wasn't really an audition, but he took it to heart. And he, the whole time, was rude and, making me feel so bad. And I'm like, who is this kid? Like, who's his mother? I'm just, where is this kid's mother? Oh, she's an amazing lady.
She was there.
She was there. But she was like in another room. She was like, I'm not even going to be a part of this. But it was perfect because then he just did everything that he was supposed to do, really. And I just knew in my heart, I was like, he is awesome.